What's that, Max? You're running for president? Well, you've got my vote, buddy. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Uh, so Jesse gave me this list of questions that I needed to answer, and I decided that I'd kind of read them for the first time while I'm giving you my answers. I guess I kind of skimmed through it a little bit so I know what I'm up against here, but I decided that this is the best. Hold on one second. Max, get off the couch. Get off. That dog, I swear, running for president one day and won't get off the couch the next. Well, anyways, let's get down to these questions. We'll try to go through them fairly quick. What is my favorite color? Well, there's been much debate about this. Green and blue are pretty much right up there as equals, but if I had to choose one, gotta be my true blue. What is my favorite meal to cook at home? Well, this is basically what I cook for Sarah whenever she is being indecisive and doesn't know what she wants. I just make fajitas, and fajitas seem to work. So fajitas, that or guacamole is something that we have a pretty good recipe and we like to eat. But that goes with the fajitas. Where was our first date? Uh, well, I don't know. Sarah and I didn't really date. Our same groups of friends just kind of hung out and we worked together. So it was more or less just hanging out after work a lot. But I guess our first restaurant date might have been La Miranda. That's a guess. Sorry, Sarah. If it's our first movie date, it might have been Couples Retreat. Yeah, there's $10 we'll never get back. Um, let's see. Next, uh, where was our first kiss? That's an easy one. Right outside BBC. Um, what is Sarah and Marty's song? Well, I don't know if we really have a song per se. Um, it could be Black River Blues by the 357 String Band. Um, it could be I Will Wait by Mumford and Sons, or it could be Fools Rush In by Elvis and then covered by a bunch of other people. Let's see. How did I decide when and where I was going to propose? Well, as far as the story goes, I kind of knew I was going to propose for a while, and I was keeping Sarah kind of in the clouds about it because, well, I didn't want her to know. And so I would tell her that where I was like a year or two away from being able to have enough to buy a ring and all that and be financially set. But I actually got the ring from my mom in February of 2015, and I knew I was going to change the setting. So I went and checked out a couple of different stores, and I was able to find Robert Hack, which had a cool band that I like, and they were able to kind of work with me and put the stone for my mom's ring into that. Um, but I didn't actually pay for the ring until we got back from Eagle River. That is where I asked Sarah's parents for permission, and her. Oh no, I asked her sister that following Tuesday. So I had already paid for the ring by the time I asked Sarah's sister for permission. Um, but I yeah, I paid for the ring on Sarah's birthday, and she had originally told me she was going to be working, so I thought I'd have the day off to go get it. But she ended up taking the day off at the last second. So I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to pick up this ring?" And I told her, "Well, I might have to leave to go get your birthday present, this and that." And she was like, "Oh, okay, this and that." Well, we ended up going to Stein's in Mequon and looking at some flowers. And as we drove by, we went past the Robert Hack where the ring was, and there was a grocery store there. So I said, "Hey, we got to do some grocery shopping. Let's let's go there and get that done." Well, when we got to the grocery store, I pretended to get a phone call from my mom and ran outside. Then I ran across the parking lot and ran into Robert Hack. and bought the ring. So that was the first time I saw the ring, and I had had them put the two sapphires on. So like I didn't actually get a chance to see any of that until the day I proposed. So I ran back to the car, put the like hid the ring in the car, then got home. And as far as deciding like when to propose, I kind of just kept it in my pocket and waited for a right opportunity, which I eventually had to create by Sarah started asking me what her birthday present was, if I had to leave to go get her birthday present, and I kind of was jokingly like, "Oh, haha, yeah, about that. I let's look at rings online." And she started getting mad. She was like, "Oh, you didn't give me a present," even though she had said she didn't want any presents. She was like, "You didn't give me a present, and this and that." And she started pouting, and I was like, "Ooh, this is working out perfect." So I then I brought up some rings online that I knew she wasn't gonna like, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think of this one?" She's like, "Oh, I hate it." "What do you think of this one?" Like, "No, I don't like that one either." So she started pulling up rings on her phone that she had saved, and she started showing me. She's like, "I like this one, and I like this one, and I like that one." So then I pulled out the ring that was actually tucked in my waistband. I was wearing shorts, and I pulled out the ring. I said, "Well, what do you think about this one?" And after about 10 minutes of screaming and this isn't real, this is a joke, this is a joke, she finally said yes. And so I guess the short version to your question is there wasn't really any time that it was planned. It just kind of happened. uh, Sorry, that one took kind of long, but I love telling that story. Next question: what's my favorite feature of Sarah's? Um, I like her butt. There's not much there, but it's so cute when she finds a pair of pants that she likes, and she's like, "Look, I got a butt." So, yeah, I guess I like her butt. What is my favorite thing to see her wear? Um, Pretty much anything sports related is cool. If I see her in a Packer shirt or a Brewers shirt, or I mean, I don't think she owns any Bucks gear, but if she had one, I'd probably like that too. Uh, if Sarah were an animal, what would she be? Uh, she would probably be a golden retriever of the highest pedigree. Let's see. So if Sarah was this animal, what would I be? Oh, I guess that would make her lady, and I'd be the tramp. uh, what is your favorite personality characteristic of Sarah's? She's probably going to say something like her cleanliness or her organization, both of which I lack in droves. Um, but I would say my favorite characteristic of Sarah's is just her strength. I mean, she works a very challenging job, and she gets up every day and does it really well. And I hope she knows how much I and everyone appreciates her efforts because she really does go above and beyond. So I would say her strength, her inner strength. That's my favorite personality of her. She keeps me even keel that way. What is Sarah's most annoying habit? You gotta pick one. I guess her most annoying habit, anything that has to do with HGTV or um, any of those like home building shows. Yeah, I'm getting kind of sick of those. What would Sarah say is my most annoying habit? Um, well, I don't know if snoring counts as a habit, but I know she hates that. Uh, Otherwise, it's probably when I do this. Mm, mm. Only the soul patch, because the soul patch then goes, it just kind of explodes, and yeah, I can see in my reflection here that it is already messed up. I'm gonna have to comb that out. What is the first thing Sarah does when she gets home from work? She changes, checks the mail, lets the dog out, and then probably sits down and reads a magazine like Counseling Today or The Week. Um, how many kids do you want to have? Sarah and I kind of talked about this. I don't know if she remembers, but I thought we sort of agreed that three is a realistic number for right now. Well, I mean, obviously, we'll see how one goes, but three was what we said. Two of our own and one adopted. What was our least favorite part of wedding planning? Um, Everything actually went pretty smooth. I was fairly happy with that, and I definitely recommend to anyone planning a wedding that they should follow like anything you accomplish with a wedding. You should definitely follow it up with sushi or a milkshake. That was kind of our thing. We rewarded ourselves every time we did something for the wedding. So I guess the least favorite part of wedding planning was probably going to Greevy's, and we were supposed to have a cake tasting there. And when we got there, they said the cake tasting lady, had left early. Then they came back and said she had an emergency, and then they came back and said she was on vacation. So we never really got a straight answer out of them, but we did pretty much solidify that we were not going to use them. And I guess the most annoying part of that was we didn't get any cake, so that happened. Um, Let's see. What am I most looking forward to about the wedding? Um, Giant Jenga. I think that's kind of going to be a lot of fun. That I'm excited for when the photos will be over. When they don't have to like pose us, because when we did our little posing, it was it was goofy to say the least. So I'm excited for that to be over, and of course, spending my life with Sarah, that's going to be fun too. Um, it looks like that's it for the questions, but they did say it's 20 questions, so I can make up a few. So here are mine. Sarah, what is my favorite sport? Is it baseball, basketball, football, or hockey? And this is favorite sport to watch or like event to be in, and not necessarily to play. Um, my favorite sport is my first true love, baseball. Of course. Football's right up there too. It's probably even tied for first, but I got to go with my first love, and that was baseball. Um, my next question is, Sarah, when we have another dog, what do you think its name would be? And if you haven't guessed, I've been dropping lots of hints. Steve! Steve! Although I know our next dog's probably not going to be a dachshund. So if it's a dog that's kind of Max's size, I kind of like the name Poe. I think it's kind of cool. Dark. One more question. Sarah, where's our favorite place to eat? And I'm sure you know this because we go there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that is the Smoke Shack. Yeah, their food is pretty good, and when we can't think of anything anywhere else to go, it's kind of always the standby. So, but not only is it the standby, it's become the standard. So, all right. I think that's 20 questions. So I hope you guys are having fun. Sarah, I love you. I hope the wedding is still on. And you guys have fun tonight.